Hello everybody, this is Yeah Dog, and I'm coming to you from Seoul, South Korea. Coming to you with another game I found off the subreddit, Cast It. And it's going to be a great match. How do I know? I don't, because it's going to be a cold cast. It's going to be a match between EG inControl, who's going to be spawning as the red Protoss on Foxtrot Labs. And he's going to be spawning at the bottom right-hand spawning location. And he's going to be going against IMI Nexius, and Nexius is his name. I know it just shows up as a bunch of lines, but a lot of pro players, especially in Grandmasters, like to hide and mask their usernames so that they don't know who they're playing against all the time. If everyone just knows who you are and they play against you on ladder, because Grandmaster, the pool is so small that you're playing against the same players over and over again. And if you know who you're playing against, you can find holes in their play, and you can use it against them in tournament play later on. So a lot of players like to play anonymously. But Nexius actually uploaded this replay onto Cast It. So it does appear he wants to see it casted on someone's channel. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for you. I haven't heard of Nexius. I have heard of EG inControl. I would wonder who hasn't heard of EG inControl. inControl is a good Protoss player, has been around for a long time. What's next? He said, people saying wrecked in my chat, smiley face. And inControl's like, but anyways, coming out of inControl right now, he's going to be going for a gateway around the standard time. He's got to get it at the 12 food mark. Same thing coming out of Nexius too, so no early gas. I mean, we'll see if when they're going to, each player's going to take their gas. EG inControl, like the guy, great dude. I've met him a couple times at some tournaments I've been to back in the States. He's such a friendly guy, so approachable, always willing to like sit down and talk to you. He's just a big cuddly teddy bear, man. He's big, he's soft, he's cool, and he's also a great caster too himself. I know he does some work for, was it IEM? I'm not sure. I know he's a caster for another show up in StarCraft North America. But I'm not sure which one. I should probably check that out. But he's also a great player too. I've seen him play at MLG a couple times, and he did make it pretty far. Didn't make it up to the main stage, but he was making it pretty far in the open brackets. The probe of inControl is going to be coming into the base of Nexius. Sees everything, but if you look back at the base of inControl 2, Nexius has a probe in. Basically sees everything, sees that double gas has been taken. Double gases have been taken of Nexius 2. Nexius gonna have to defend that probe from inControl. If we look at the warp gate timing for inControl, it is a bit earlier. So that is going to be an advantage coming into this game, especially since no player has shown what strategy they're going to be going for just yet. A Stargate is going to be put down by Nexius pretty much in the face of this probe, so I think he didn't want to hide it. I think he might have wanted to hide it, but just because of the timing, he needed to get it out as fast as possible. Didn't really have anything to deal with that probe, that he just had to put it down. So Stargates get put down by Nexius, and if we look at the base of inControl, he's going for the Mothership Core a bit early. He's going to be chrono boosting out Stalkers. Actually, not chrono boosting out Stalkers, just going to be getting Stalkers. He is currently supply blocked. Gets that pylon up and getting a second Stalker out right now, and he's also chrono boosting out Warp Tech. So it does appear that inControl is going to be going for some type of early gateway aggression. Going to get those Stalkers out, going to be able to get some map control. The probe is going to be coming in from Nexius. Going to be seeing that the extra gates are being added and that the chrono boost is being spent on Warp Tech. Second gateway coming down from Nexius. He is going to be getting a, whoa, he's going to be going for Warp Prism. So, Warp Prism's pretty good. Pretty good. A lot of DPS come out of him. Nexius needs to be a little bit careful, though, with where he's putting this Mothership Core, because if he gets that Mothership Core out a little bit too far, if it gets taken out, he's not going to have any energy for Photon Overcharge. And he also needs to take care of these pylons. No Stalkers out from Nexius just yet, and if we look at the unit count for inControl, he's already got 2 Stalkers out, so that's definitely a big leg up in this scenario. This Mothership Core going to be coming in here poking in, but now that Void Ray's out and Probe's being pulled off the line, oh, but inControl is going to be losing that Mothership Core. He tried to recall all the way back to his base, but he wasn't able to quite make it. Really close, though. Another another Warp Prism, another Void Ray is going to be coming out from Nexius, and also Photon Overcharge comes down on that Nexus, going to be able to push back all these Stalkers back to the entrance of his base. If we look at the back at the base of inControl, he's going to be putting down a Stargate of his own, getting more Stalkers in. He's going to be trying to take out this pylon that's powering basically everything right there, but he's going to be pulling back. Stalker count is going to be increasing from Nexius, and that Void Ray is kind of scary unless he focuses down that Void Ray right off the bat, and especially because 2 Void Rays are out. They're going to be doing a lot of damage. Void Rays do additional damage to armored units, and Stalkers do count as armored, so if they decide to go overcharge and use that ability and attack these Stalkers, it can burn them down pretty fast. It doesn't seem like inControl is going to be able to do much right here. It does seem like Nexius is going to be able to hold right here at the front, is able to push back that aggression. That build by inControl wasn't really meant to do, wasn't really meant to hit too early and get your opponent off guard. It could have been really bad for Nexius if he didn't scout it, but he was able to scout it and react to it appropriately. inControl going to be going straight for Phoenix, still working off one base. He's able to get one Phoenix out right now. Nexius is going to be pushing out to his natural, but pushing back these Stalkers, and inControl losing a couple. Oh no, he's sending those Zealots back home, and a Oracle has been produced by Nexius. He's going to be moving to the base of inControl, going to try and take as many probes as possible. Every probe kill is going to be a great advantage in this game. Was able to kill, I think, 7 workers, so that's pretty good, pretty nice for Nexius. In a good position. He knows that he got a little bit of economic lead right there. He was able to distract his opponent and push his units back across the map, so he's going to be going straight for his natural and going to be going for some macro up in this John. Forge is going to be being made by Nexius. I'm not sure where. I think it's on the low ground. Low ground? Where's the Forge? Where'd the Forge at? Where the Forge? How come I can't find the Forge? Anyways, Forge is being made by Nexius. And if we look at inControl, still working off of 2 base. One base. Going to be going for a second base right now. Gets that natural, and he's not really producing any units right now. Does seem like Nexius is going for a very safe route. Phoenixes have been made. He was able to scout that, and he's going to be able to push that back. Let's see how many probe kills he was able to get just from those Phoenixes. 6 workers killed by inControl. So it pretty much evens out when it comes to how much has been killed. Nexius got the Forge just to get the cannons, but he should probably get some upgrades to get that upgrade advantage right now. +1 attack, as I said, that just starts, and he's going to be having that upgrade advantage. Doesn't seem like inControl has a Forge up just yet. He's going to be getting a second Stargate, and he's still working off 3 gates, so he's got enough to protect and defend this base, but not enough to do any real aggression. He's going to be trying to utilize these Phoenixes to try and get as much aggression and damage done to the main mining base of Nexius, just to push him back, because inControl does know that he did get his natural, that Nexius did get his natural up a little bit faster, so as any damage really against Nexius at this point is just good on inControl's part. Gonna be able to edge back in the game, just edge his way up into an advantage. Again, that upgrade advantage for Nexius is going to be a good timing though, so it does seem like he has his timings for what could be a timing 2-base push if he plays his cards right. As long as he gets his base fully saturated, he will be able to produce an army, a pretty sizable army off of just 2 bases. But that is if inControl doesn't do too much harassment, and also inControl, if he does do this harassment, can't lose any of these Phoenix, which are going to be crucial for the later stages of the game. See, Phoenix are pretty useful because you can do a lot of harassment early game, and also early game you can't pick up vital units like Immortals, which will really hamper the your opponent's army. But the thing is, later on in the game, they don't really do too much. So like, you need to do as much aggression and damage with them early on as possible. Otherwise, they pretty much become dead weight and not too useful in the later stages of the game. Just because air toss, you got void rays, and also you got stalkers to deal with this. And once they lose the energy to pick up anything, they really don't have much to shoot except for Colossus. So it does seem like both players just sticking to the air toss. It does seem like a robotics facility was put down by Nexius, so he's going to be adding Immortals into the mix. In a PvP, it's always great to add immortals into the mix because most of your opponent's army is going to be consisting of stalkers early game. So your immortals will be able to do a lot of damage and also do really good. They have really good range, so they also be able to do a lot of damage against Colossus as well. The Phoenix count getting a little bit scary from inControl right now, so it's got up to 11 Phoenix. I'm not sure if that's the correct response against what Nexius has, considering he's going straight to Robo in response too. So Zealot Charge is being researched right now, and a Templar Archive is being coming down, so we could be seeing Archons being produced fairly shortly. These Phoenix can be working and whittling away at this this air army though. Can be going and trying to pick off this Mothership Core. He's going to be able to get it, and this Void Ray is in danger of being picked off by these Phoenixes as well. So if we look back at the base of inControl, he's going to be working off of 2 Stargates still. He's got that Forge, not really producing anything off that Forge, just to maybe get some Photon Cannons. Yeah, he's going to be putting one right at the natural. Getting his natural mined up and saturated, but these Phoenix is doing a really good job of picking off workers and doing a lot of damage. 18 workers killed already, and that's a lot. A couple feedbacks coming down from these Templars onto these Phoenixes, so that's I guess that's a bit of a plus for Nexius. A little bit of damage done before he merges them into a Archon, getting most of the bang for his buck basically. And Phoenix is rolling up in Nexius' base, taking out a lot of probes. It's just the Phoenix count is just so high that this Photon Can doesn't really do too much. He's able to lose these Phoenixes as long as he takes out the economy of Nexius. So inControl in a very good spot. Able to do a lot of harassment with this air toss army composition. Also, he's going to be able to get his main fully saturated much faster. His natural up and saturate much faster than he would. He did get a fleet beacon though, and it's not really being used to research anything, but he's going to be getting Void Rays out as of now, so it's going to be an air toss army composition. This Phoenix is still poking in here, able to take out a Zealot. But the ball from Nexius is going to be mainly a ground army now, so I'm not sure if inControl is going to have anything to stop this. +2 attack is going to be finishing up for Nexius as well, so he's going to be hitting a good timing if he wants to push into inControl's base and do some damage. Right now would be a good time to push. Third base, Ninja Expand coming out from inControl. Not really where you would normally expand. You'd normally expand to here on Foxtrot or right here because it's the gold base. It does seem like inControl wants to hide that. inControl still in the bases next to you, trying to take out as many probes as possible. Able to pick off 4 more. I don't think Nexius can produce probes as fast as inControl is taking them out, really. So Nexius knows he's going to be putting down that third base over at where he would naturally expand to. And the forces of Nexius, he's got 3 immortals mixed in there, which is really scary. But if he loses all the stalkers and the archons with the army composition right here, there really won't be anything to shoot up. But it seems like there are a lot of zealots, which is a really good. Except these archons will be able to shred through him if he doesn't focus down these archons. This army composition is just really nice from Nexius, especially because of these upgrades. He's got that advantage. And he's able to take out a lot of those Phoenix right there in that engagement. But inControl just knows he has to do something here. He has to... Oh, Mothership Core has been made. Where's the Mothership Core? Mothership Core is right here. He's going to be able to cloak this these buildings. I don't think Nexius had Observer. Oh, Observer's right here. But if he loses that Observer, he's not going to be able to do any damage. This army is just going to roll over his. But I don't think that push from Nexius was meant to do to take out inControl. So just put some pressure as he expands across his base. inControl is putting way too much pressure on Nexius throughout that entire early to mid part of this game, which really hampered Nexius' ability to expand. Also really hampered his economy. If we just look at how much workers were killed, there's 37 workers were killed, which is a lot, especially in a PvP. So Nexius is going to be putting proxy pylons across the map. Does appear to be wanting to do some aggression, but doesn't seem like he's going to be pushing out. He's going to keep his forces safely here at home to deal with any aggression coming out of inControl. If we look at the army tab, it is 159 from inControl versus 121 of Nexius. Nexius also supply blocked right now. He's going to be running some zealots that are upgraded into the third of inControl, but with this Photon Cannon here, he will be able to hold. And these zealots not really going all the way there. We're going to be taking out this proxy pylon instead. The army of inControl is getting pretty scary. He's even got a Tempest into the mix of his army just to deal with these Archons, which are considered massive units. So these Tempests going to be able to do some extra damage against them, especially. So if this Tempest just sits in the back, shoots down the Archons, there's really not going to be much within Nexius' army composition that's going to be really strong against this army. Nexius is going to be throwing out some storms. Really good storms, though. This one bad thing about this army of inControl is that it's very slow. It's going to be hard to dodge these storms. Storms coming down, just shredding through this army, but is it going to be enough from Nexius to hold against this inControl army just being way too big? These Void Rays doing a lot of damage against these Stalkers. Going to be putting that overcharge on, and there's not really anything here from Nexius to shoot up against his skytoss army composition. Zealots all coming down from inControl, but it doesn't really matter because all the expensive units, which would be the Void Rays and the Mothership and the Tempest in the back, aren't going down. Tempest focusing down these Archons is doing a really good job. Nexius is going to be pushing here, trying to take out the Mothership core. Is going to be able to get it. Mothership goes down, and now the Stalkers are just left to deal with these Void Rays, but all the Stalkers are going to go down. There's too many Void Rays to deal with, and these Tempests just going to work and shooting everything from the back. It does seem like inControl is in the lead here and took the better part of that engagement, but Nexius is in a bad spot. He needs to find a way to deal with this army composition of skytoss from inControl, but it doesn't seem like this ground army is really going to be able to do it. These Stalkers just don't produce enough DPS to really deal with it. They are +3 upgraded when it comes to attack, but it's just not enough. These Stalkers just go down too fast. And this really, I like this strategy coming out of inControl. The fact that he's using these Tempests to whittle down the Archons. Just 3 shots from these Tempests really just take down one Archon. So these Tempests do a lot of DPS against the Archon composition, especially if Nexius only has like 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's not going to be enough, especially against inControl's army. inControl still producing just Zealots and working off 3 base now. So his income is going to be greater than that of Nexius. Nexius is going to be able to saturate his 3rd base. Coming in here trying to do a little bit of harassment. He's got to be careful with these Stalkers. Doesn't want to lose too much, especially since the income disparity and the unit disparity is pretty high, especially in the favor of inControl. inControl is going to get that Mothership core up and running now too. And Nexius is going to be playing on the defensive, going for that 4th base because his main is almost completely mined out, and then his natural expansion is going to be getting close to mine out as well. I'm not really sure how many workers he has. He's got 56 workers compared to the 63 of inControl. So he is behind in terms of economy. He's going to be canceling that Nexius over here, the 4th, though, because of Zealots that ran by. Also, just it's not safe. It's just not safe now. It's really, really close to the 3rd base of inControl. And inControl's army is air, so it is very mobile. The Storm's not too great against air toss, to be honest, so I'm not sure if Storm is the appropriate response against his army composition. It's just because they're armored, and they're not really squishy units. Storm is really good against squishy units, but these units really aren't that squishy. Nexius is going to be trying to do some damage. Knows that the 4th base at the gold is taken by inControl. It's going to be pushed back by the skytoss army of inControl, though. It's going to be able to delay mining just for a little bit. Mothership core does finish, though, so it seems like inControl is waiting for that before he does push out. Now that it is finished, it seems like a push is underway from inControl. It's going to be putting out some proxy pylons right before he moves out. 4th base at the gold is going to be taken by Nexius, which is a little bit safer, to be honest. But as you see from the gold expansions of Foxtrot, is that it's got the complete back behind it of the gold minerals is just exposed. So it's really easy for your opponent to harass your mineral line, and which makes getting the gold base a bigger risk. inControl is going to be pushing out, though, with this army. He needs to be careful from these Storms. Storms will be good at taking out the Zealots, but nothing more. His army of inControl, especially because the Tempests are in the back, is pretty safe. The Mothership's not being focused down either. We got some Storms within the mix. You got a bunch of Stalkers. Doesn't seem like there are any Immortals here. It's just going to be a Stalker, Archon, and Templar army composition. More Storms, defensive Storms being dropped by Nexius, who's also going to be going for a 5th expansion behind this as well. Really just holding on, trying to hold on as long as possible so he can get his economy up. If he can get his economy up, he can get it ahead in the upgrades and get the proper unit composition and also the proper amount of supply, since look at the army. supply. He is down by about 20 army supply, which is never good in a mirror matchup. In a mirror matchup, it's so close that every unit supply counts. It's never good to be down, especially if you're not up and up. I mean, if you're down in upgrades. It seems like Nexius is up in upgrades, but that gap is closing, especially since inControl is maxed. So inControl moving out, going to be pushing into this area on the right side of the map. Tempest reinforcing from behind, and inControl is able to take out that pylon, but really just posturing across the map, figuring out where his opponent is. Saying, does he really know about those expansions though? He doesn't know that Nexius has actually expanded to those locations though, so he's just gonna be pushing around, getting some map control, which he does have, because considering that Nexius does not have, is not completely maxed. Oh, these Templar not with the control group, kind of being left behind. Not good, but it does seem like inControl is going to be splitting his army, sending his Zealots all the way over here to the left side of the map of Nexius, going to be able to take out this expansion. Fifth expansion is going to be going down, but Nexius still has that gold, holding on to that gold, so he's not behind too much. He's going to be moving over here to deal with these Zealots, but it's okay from inControl because he has the income. He's got 3,000 minerals in the bank. He can just afford to throw away Zealots right now, especially if the Zealots do a lot of damage. Zealots all do go down though, and inControl is just going to be able to remax with those pretty easily. He's got the gates to do it. He's got the gates at home to remax really fast, because considering about 30 to 40 of that unit supply of his army right now just goes straight to Zealots. So he's going to be able to just pump out Zealots. He's got the bang for it. He's working out 4 bases, and it does seem like Nexius is working out 4 bases too. As of mining bases, I think inControl is closer to just 2 mining bases. But it seems like inControl and Nexius are going to be going for an engagement. Time Warp going down, but there are a lot of Stalkers here. His Mothership Core being focused down by the Stalkers is going to be able to go down, and now that Mothership's down, Nexius is going to be pulling down, dropping some defensive storms as he retreats. In that engagement, I would say it is in inControl's favor because he didn't lose too much. He lost the Zealots, he lost a couple Archons, lost the Mothership Core, but is able to remax almost immediately. Whereas if we look at the supply of Nexius, he is behind in terms of supply. Hasn't expanded behind it, but it is going to be dropping a bunch of gateways. So it does seem like Nexius is going to be committing to this ground army. Is not really focusing on upgrading anything past getting +3 attack. I think it would help a little bit if he got a little bit of ground armor at least, or maybe some shield. But it's definitely with the survivability of his army compared to the unit composition of inControl, especially since the Warp Prism just whittle away at your health. It can delay it can just basically make your army a lot harder to kill. This Tempest is going to be going to work on this Nexus of Nexius that's at the gold expansion. It's pretty sure it's going to be able to go down. It's inControl just harassing at multiple locations at multiple times, able to get the gold base. And over here, if Nexius doesn't come with a unit over here, inControl is going to be able to just warp in Zealots over here on the left-hand side and just keep harassing his base over and over again. If he doesn't drop some cannons here too, it's not really going to do a lot. More Zealots coming in here, going to be able to force a cancel on that Nexus, and going to be able to take out this pylon as well. But over here, another big engagement coming over. Happening between inControl and Nexius. Nexius almost maxed again, so this is going to be an even engagement. Archons at the front taking a lot of damage, but these Immortals in the back doing a lot of damage. Going to be able to be working their way against these Stalkers. The Stalkers do have Blink, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be any Blink micro as of yet. Able to take out all the ground army of inControl. More storms coming down. A lot of splash on these Void Rays that aren't really split, so these Stalkers being thrown by Nexius, but he's able to take out a lot. There's not much of inControl left to deal with this Stalker composition, which do have Blink, so these Zealots aren't going to be able to do too much. 2 Archons still alive, and a bunch of Stalkers reinforcing from the back. It seems like the air composition of inControl has fallen from the just the overwhelming Stalker count of Nexius. If you look at the supply, it does seem like it's evened out, and just because the sheer amount of warp gates from Nexius, he's going to be able to remax pretty fast. inControl on the offensive, still going to be throwing some Zealots into the gold expansion of Nexius, trying to take out that gold base, but isn't going to be able to get it this time. Nexius going to be riding this this wave, going to be going out, pushing across the map, taking out any proxy pylons, and possibly doing some damage himself. If we look at the gold base of inControl, it is pretty much mined out. Gold bases do go by really fast, so inControl is going to have to think about securing another expansion pretty soon, which he is doing over here at the top of the map. These stalkers are going to be able to come in here, delay the mining of this gold expansion while taking some units out. There's no observer with this army though, so these stalkers are going to have to either focus down that mothership core or back off because all these units are close. Stalker is going to be blinking, trying to get a favorable engagement here, just do some damage to this army of inControl. But I really do think Nexius should pull back, especially because there's so many Tempests in the back just whittling away at this army. This Archon does go down, so it's just a big ball of Stalkers trying to do some damage, are going to blink straight into the army of inControl, able to take out that mothership core. And all that's left are Tempests and Immortals, and there's just not enough, I think, to deal with this unit composition. The amount of Stalkers from Nexius, but that was a little bit of sloppy control right there, as all those Stalkers do go down. Wasn't able to expand, and GG comes out of Nexius. That was a pretty close match. Got a hats off to Nexius to able to deal with that supply lead from inControl throughout that game. inControl was able to do a lot of damage early on with those Phoenixes. It was able to have like a 36 worker kill lead over Nexius at one point, which is never a good position to be in. The economy of Nexius was just hurting, which is why he wasn't able to produce an army as fast as inControl. inControl, sticking with that air composition, is pretty effective. Air toss is known to be pretty strong and is pretty much your go-to in any matchup. Void Rays just do a lot of damage, especially the army composition of inControl was just really good against what Nexius had. These Tempests in the back just basically destroy the Archons, who are all massive units, so they do extra damage. So they just sit in the back and just focus down the Archons, while the Stalkers all get whittled down by either the Void Rays, which do extra damage against armored units, and also the Immortals that get sprinkled into the mix as well. Nexius just GG'd out of that game because it didn't have the economy to keep dealing with the production of inControl, because inControl did have 120 supply towards the end versus the 60 of Nexius. Nexius just trying to do as much damage with those Stalkers at the end as possible, see if he could edge his way with a good play back into the game, but it didn't appear so after losing too many Stalkers and just not having the income to back it and produce and deal with the army of inControl at the end. So GG coming out both players, and GG to both players. Great match between these guys. Thanks Nexius for posting this on Casted. I really enjoyed casting this game. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Give me some comments and feedback if you did enjoy it, and also like and share the video if you enjoyed it as well. This is YeDog. We'll be casting more games off of Casted. I took a little bit of a break just because of work, but we'll be getting back into casting daily, or if not daily, every other day. Do check out my Twitch channel, which I cast live on, which is Twitch. Username YeDog, and also I'll be posting all of my videos and VODs on my YouTube channel, which is YeDog channel. You can see that in the link in my information and description, or you can just see it in the info attached to this YouTube video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.